Hello everyone, and welcome to my Warframe in-depth first impressions video, is what I'm going to call it. Now, I call it this because, as you guys seen, there's the intro and then there was this other part that came afterwards. That little video clip is actually how long I've been playing this game in my spare time. 50 days, I believe so. And yeah, I thought I'd make this video because sure, there are other first impression videos, but there are things that a lot of new players aren't really aware of until like the last second type of situation, and then it'll make them rage quit basically to the point where they take a break from the game, maybe never pick it up again, or they come back to it. And then there's the people, right, who end up rage quitting for good just because they don't want to deal with it. Now, this is also a grind game, which that part didn't bug me at all. I'm used to I played my fair share of grind games, to be honest. And that's another thing, I'm going to be brutally honest in this first, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, and there will be spoilers, so if you're somebody who doesn't like spoilers for games that you're looking up on, videos on YouTube for, feel free to turn away now. I'm just going to let you know there's going to be spoilers for things, but I'm not going to go like in-depth with those spoilers. I'm just going to give you in-depth first impression information that new players should know, and from my first impressions as a new player for the first 50 days of playing Warframe. So let's just get into it, guys. So when you start this game, I think you're like confined to a quest, like quite literally. This is your, star chart, some people call it. And yeah, some things will not show up on the star chart right away. For example, this derelict area here, this is not available to you when you first start the game, and there's some pretty good mods, you can get from the derelict, okay? Like, and I'm no expert at this game, but I have learned quite a bit within the first 50 days of playing, okay? Now, that's one area, right, that new players don't have access to. Unless they build a key for it. But, most people don't even think to look in the market for half the things I'm going to mention in this video. And yeah, like, this Lua here, this is the moon in this game, basically. And it's completely invisible until you do a certain quest. And there's also these little, they're called principal challenges, I think is the correct term for them. But in my mind, they're a puzzle. It's a puzzle room, basically. Is what you gotta do, and you gotta solve the puzzle, and you get rewarded with a very rare mod. Now, when you start off, you like it's weird, because a lot of people are watching videos, I noticed, and I've read my fair share of comments from trying to do research and learn stuff too. And yeah, people see other players, right, and they're running around with, the ability to leave their Warframe, in a sense, as I'm gonna word it for now. And yeah, it really got me too when I first started playing this game. And I'd also like to mention this Koopa Fortress thing is a part of what is called your Tenno, or operator, in the game. And that's one of those spoilers I'd like to just mention there. But yeah, when you get this ship, you can, change the look of it and everything like that. You got this annoying radio, but I keep that thing off. You can decorate it with all kinds of crazy shit, things like that. You could join syndicates, and I'm gonna mention good and bad things about this game, guys. I'm not just gonna stick to one end of the spectrum. I'm gonna try and stay neutral by, mentioning everything for the most part that a new player should be aware of. And syndicates, they're not, there's nothing really bad here. Because I will tell you now, you can be hunted, marked for death by so many different people, organizations in this game. It's not even funny, okay? I find it funny, but yeah, some other people might get frustrated. I'll be honest, I got frustrated, not by being hunted by syndicates. Oh, no. The thing that got me was when I was being hunted by, I'll show you guys here. And I'll zoom in on that one little part down there where it says, marked for death by Stalker and the Grusstrog 3, if I'm pronouncing that first word right. But you know what I mean? Like, that kind of, you know, got me when I couldn't kill the stalker, and then I did some research. And I realized the stalker is kind of classified as a sentient enemy. Now, a sentient enemy, you might be asking if you're new to the game, what the hell is a sentient enemy? That's what I said. What the hell is a sentient enemy? So, this room back here, you don't have access to this room unless you do, you know, certain quests. Same with this room over here. And these are part of the spoilers, like I said, but I'm not just going to go in depth. You can get a fish tank in here if you're willing to spend some platinum, which is something I'll get to afterwards. But you know what I mean? You need access to your Tenno, or operator, as it's called, to be able to remove the buffs that sentient enemies can get from you attacking them. So like, there's a variety of weapons and stuff in the game, but unless you can switch to your operator in combat and blast them with your void powers, or your void beam, as it were, you cannot basically, like, they'll just become immune to certain damage types, and eventually those immunities will actually stack for that type of enemy. Now, as far as I know, to my knowledge, I could be wrong on this, so if somebody who watches this video wants to correct me on how many actually sentient type enemies there are, feel free. But as far as my knowledge goes, there's the Stalker, I believe the Shadow Stalker, well, that's like one and the same, you might as well say, because the Stalker sends a shadow version of himself to hunt you down and kill you, which is still fairly tough if you're not prepared for it. But, you know what I mean? And then you got like I don't know about the Groostock tree. I'm marked by death for them, but I haven't been chased by them yet. So I honestly couldn't tell you what's going on with those guys and what type of enemies they are. But there are enemies on the moon now, okay? On Lua. Every one of these missions you can do, okay? And each one of these little nodes, as they're referred to, yeah, they all, there's a chance that these sentient enemies, and they're like battle drones basically, and yeah, say if you were attacked them with, say, a weapon that had fire, the element of fire on it, so that's classified as heat damage in Warframe, yeah, they'll eventually gain a buff to that, which makes them pretty much immune to it. And then you gotta switch to your operator and kind of blast the living shit out of them with your void beam and remove the buff. So that's kind of a downside for new players, right? Because the reason why I say it's a downside, now don't get me wrong here. So looking at the quests, this is the quest you are forced to start with, okay, in the game. And basically, you cannot do anything. I'm not even joking. You are literally, the game locks you out from like almost 80% of the actual features of the game you get to enjoy. So you gotta literally complete this quest from beginning to start, and then, like, but during the quest, the game kind of guides you, right, through this forest prize quest. But then after that, it just drops you off and says, good luck, figure it out on your own. So, good thing there's lots of people, you know, doing Warframe videos on YouTube for new players. But like I said, I'm not going to do videos like that. I'm going to do other types of videos, and I thought the first video I do is a first impression, and let you know, new players aware of some things. So, if you're one of those new players looking to unlock, you know, your Tenno or operator, you got to do a specific set of quests, and it's namely these three right here. And the thing is, you're going to end up doing a whole bunch of other quests on your way. Well, I'm going to say it's like a little journey through the galaxy, you know, to getting to this quest called Nata. And once you do the Nata quest, you get, you know, you can do the second dream quest, and that's when you actually truly start unlocking the ability to access your operator. And then, you know, like I said, a little bit of spoilers, and I'm not gonna, you know, go heavy into it, but right, this is what you see. You see, like, that doesn't look like the operator you just seen, right? That's not my operator. That's what your operator looks like when you first discover them. And as you guys briefly saw there, you got a person off to the right, that's Lotus. She talks to you quite frequently in this game, that's why I thought I'd mention it. But you know what I mean? This quest is the beginning of something great in my eyes, because the reason I say it that way is I wasn't enjoying this game as much until I actually unlocked my operator, even just the beginning of it. Like being able to access the focus trees and seeing what you're actually getting yourself into helps you better prepare for the grind. And it's kind of a downside, like how much you actually have to grind, you know, when you actually see the focus tree and understand how it works. Yeah, you kind of, your jaw drops and you say, holy shit, how am I supposed to do this? Well, that's, like I said, once again, good thing, you know, YouTubers have channels that upload mainly Warframe videos. Now, this other quest here, the War Within, when you start this one and beat it, this is when you will, like, as you see, there's my operator now. You will have full access to your operator in combat, right? On missions, whatever. And that's great because your operator can be quite useful for certain situations, especially if you're trying to play a certain squad role, like support. There's focus trees that allow you to strip armor from enemies, and that is quite useful in certain situations. Now, but like I said, you gotta do these quests to get it, and that's a huge, huge downside because I'm not gonna lie, I spent money on this game for platinum, and that's one thing I wanted to talk about. And this is, I guess, a good time as any to talk about it. When I started, the first thing I got myself was, I think, the Razor Gunplay bundle, to be honest. And I was glad I did, because I got the Tigris, however you want to pronounce that, shotgun. It's really good. It's like very tight pellet spread, very long range, and it's like a 2 quick burst fire. But if you shoot it and hold the trigger, you'll still have the remaining shot, and then as soon as you let go, it fires again. So that you get 2 shots out of it either way you look at it. But yeah, when I started, and I did research on this, because I had no clue how to get to where, and you know, like, you can see paths, but if you're a new player to the game, right, you're just going to be like, well, where do I go? What do I do? How do I do this? How do I obtain that? So what I did was some research, and then eventually I figured out the path I needed to take. So basically you start on Earth, and you make your way over here, right? And then, like, you don't have to do every mission on a planet, right? Like, it's good to do them, eventually get them all done, because it adds to your mastery experience, which is something I'll briefly mention. There's so much to that added. Like, I could talk about that's good and bad. I don't even want to go there, but I'll just briefly mention it in the video. Yeah, but those help towards your mastery. Like, let's see if I got one here. Oh, that one's all done. Yeah. So you'll see these certain ones that blink blue. Those mean I can still earn a bit of mastery experience from completing them. All the ones, you know, that are done are done. That's all there is to it. But my journey, when I first started as a new player, I had to make my way over here, and my goal was, when I started, right, I want to unlock, because I looked up, I seen people using these other, you know, character types, and I was like, well, how did I get them? And then I learned that's what the operator was. So I set my sights on that. My journey took me from all the way through here, and then I had to go back to Mars and do a bunch of stuff here, and you got junctions, right? So every junction requires something different from you, right? So you had to do numerous different things, like some easy, some difficult, but you know, and then once you did the junction, you have specters there. And like, I can tell you right now, one of my buddies right now is stuck on, which one is it? I think it's this junction right here. He's trying to get the Jupiter, and I've been helping him so far with the things I could help him, right? But that's the thing. When it comes to quests or junctions, you're on your own. You gotta do it solo. Your friends, you know, in YouTube videos can give you advice or whatever on best how to do it, but sometimes they'll recommend things that are far out of your reach at that current moment in time, and it serves you no good. You know, that's something I learned very quickly with this game. And yeah, so my journey, like I said, took me to Mars. And, you know, I was trying to do things for the junctions. So then I realized, oh, well, this junction right here needs you to go to Phobos. So then I was looking at this one, and I was like, oh, this one needs whatever from me, right? So eventually, you know, getting that little bit explained, how that works, how you get from planet to planet, right? My journey took me from Earth to Venus to Mercury, basically. And then to Mars, to Phobos. Then, when I put the thing here on Phobos, you can see a line that goes all the way to an area called the Void. Then I had to go to the Void and do this first mission. right here. That's all I had to do, thankfully, because like I said, I was just trying to power through it, so I made my way back here. And then once I was done there, right, I did the junction. Once I had all the prerequisites done, hammered out of the way, fought there's junction specters there, and some of them can be tricky, like I said. But if you figure it out, lose to it enough, couple times, whatever, you'll find a method that will get you through. And then, I made my way to Ceres, did everything here, made my way to Jupiter, and then I was like, oh, okay, what's this one? And then I looked at the junction, I was like, oh, F, And then, so I did the stuff there, made my way to the Europa one. And I'm sorry if you guys don't want to hear this, but like I said, this is something new players should be aware of if they're trying to unlock their operator. Like how much of a journey you actually have to do through this little star chart. And I'm just giving you the brief explanation on it as best as I can. As quick as I can. So Jupiter, right, Europa, once you're done doing stuff for what the junction asks, you beat the Spectre there. Then you make your way to Saturn. Oh, you look at the Uranus junction, as funny as that sounds, you defeat that arsehole named Sargus Ruck, who's supposed to drop a split chamber mod, but the odds of that thing dropping are like next to none, trust me. I'm like almost a little over 50 times, got fed up, ended up spending some platinum buying it off somebody in the trade chat. That's a little bit of platinum I've ever spent on a mod or a mod pack, I'm telling you. Now, oh, that and Heavy Caliber. Two of the best mods I've ever spent a little bit of platinum on. Well worth it. Hope that platinum served those two people well. But like I was saying, did all the stuff for this junction, beat the Spectre there. And I didn't have trouble beating the Spectres, mind you. I picked Meg, a Warframe called Meg, because you get 3 choices at the beginning of the game. You get a choice between one called, I believe, Excalibur, Meg, and Volt. Now, Excalibur and Volt are harder to craft, because you can craft Warframes, okay? Just so everyone knows, you can craft. Some people who are watching this are probably well aware of this, but for new players, just so you know, you can buy blueprints from the market, and then you go, farm up the parts, like the you need neuroptics, systems, and chassis usually for a Warframe, and that's whether it's a regular Warframe or a Prime Warframe, just so that's clear. And yeah, you farm up the parts, right? But apparently Meg's the easiest to get, but I picked Meg first because, the whole power of magnetism and, I think I was thinking X-Men or something like Magneto at the time. I was just like, yeah, that sounds so cool, I'm gonna do that. And that's what I did. But, she's not entirely the greatest. She does have crowd control ability and some other things, but her one ability to make a magnetic bubble around one individual enemy is what actually got me through all the junctions. I'm talking all of them I've done so far. I do not use any other Warframe for a junction. I grab my Meg Warframe and I kick ass. Believe it or not. You just trap them in a bubble and you shoot them because they can't do anything. They can't shoot you. If they shoot at you, they'll just shoot themselves. Like, it's a win-win, like, as long as you have a good energy pool, like max energy, it's easy to take down any junction using Meg. I don't know if anybody else was aware of that, but that's something I discovered. But like I said, back to what I was saying. My journey took me through here to, the planet Uranus. Oh, I crack up. It's hard to say that without laughing. And then, yeah, I looked at the things, and then I was like, oh, complete the Nata quest. And then from the research I did on YouTube from other YouTubers who do Warframe videos, I learned that this is one place you can go to start the Nata quest. And then you just scan these weird ass drones, and then boom, Lotus says, oh, there's something weird about that and going dark and a bunch of other nonsense. And anyways, yeah, and then you complete the mission or whatever successfully, and then you get the access to the Nata quest. Simple as that. So I did that, right? Seeing what I had to do, and then it told me, and then, so once I beat the junction, I just did the Nata quest right away, right? I didn't do anything here. And then I ended up had to do a few missions here anyways for the quest, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and then, yeah, and then I did the second dream, and then a bunch more missions later, right? I did, the War Within, and then that's when I got the real kick in the nuts, because it told me I had to make my way all the way to here, this planet called Sedna. Now, the reason I say that's a kick in the nuts or a kick in the junk if you're a female is because, by God, that's a push if you're doing it solo. Like trying to get that far as quick as possible. And believe it or not, I did it in 15 days. I got my operator unlocked in 15 days because I was that determined. If I wasn't that determined, I honestly would have quit long ago. So that's why I'm letting new players know right now. This is a grind game that's not for the faint of heart. You gotta, you know, if you're one of those grind game players, you really gotta put your heart and soul into something like this. Put a little bit of time into it every day, and you'll get there. But you know, platinum, like when the term pay to win comes into mind, don't be fooled by other YouTubers saying this is easily a free to play game and you can get everything you want. Well, yeah, they're not wrong. Okay, so don't grab your pitchforks and torches just yet. They're not wrong when they say that. But the time it would take you to get the things you want without putting a little bit of, even if you just put in $10, because they got like $4.99 deals or something like that for a bunch of platinum, and even that would help, because 40 platinum can get you a 3-day affinity booster, and affinity can help you level or rank up your warframes, your companions, because you get companions in this game. You get sentinels, which are like floating robotic minions that stay by your side at all times and do various different things to help you out depending on what you need them to do. You can set them up differently, and each one has unique mods that come with them too, I should mention. And then you get actual living like companion, like they're called Kubos, Kavots, and yeah, I think that's it. But you know, you get companions, and an affinity booster helps you level up all those things much quicker, which adds to your overall mastery rank, which is like that little blue bar there right above the show profile thing. And that's what I mean, like so right now with my Rhino Warframe right here, right, I'm currently trying to make my way to mastery rank 11, and then I want to get to 12 because I'm working on my syndicate. I'm currently trying to get the majority of my stuff done with New Loka here. And
to cleanse the unclean.
I'm one more rank away from being the highest rank you could be, and that's what you need to be able to buy these weapons. But the thing is, when I looked at this ahead of time, it says this item is mastery rank locked. And by God, that pissed me off. I was like, what? And I have, this is the Sancti Tigris. I'm just going to say Tigris because I know someone's going to say I'm saying it wrong or whatever. So this is the Sancti Tigris. This gun's amazing. Syndicate weapons usually come with a syndicate effect, which I don't know them all by heart, but they are very helpful during missions and combat, and during combat. Okay, that's all. That's the basics of it. They only help. They can't really make things much worse, even if they don't. Like some proc radiation, some proc corrosive, some proc area AOE effects like that, and some aren't as good as others, right? But still, every little bit counts when you're doing those higher, like those tougher missions where the enemies are like much higher levels than what you're used to doing. So weapons like that, right? And once I get to the rank or whatever, yeah. But the mastery rank will still prevent me from being able to purchase this weapon, right? So that's why, you have that system in place, and it's good and bad for reasons. Like a lot of them are kind of self-explanatory. And with the recent update, they had a lot of reworks for Warframe and stuff that they need to be done, and but the thing is, a lot of people are getting really mad, and I was pissed at first too about this. I'm not going to deny it. There's a Warframe called Chroma, and Chroma was a lot of people's go-to for eidolon hunting, like solo eidolon hunting. If you set your Chroma up right and use this weapon, the Optic is one of your choices. Like, there's many choices, don't get me wrong, but my personal preference is the one I had access to first. That seemed the best choice at the time, was the Optic. And you know what? I'm thoroughly happy I picked this as my go-to weapon for eidolon hunting with Chroma. And some people are going to comment already on, well, Chroma no good. He can't one-shot the eidolon. You know what? I'll be honest with you guys, all my viewers out there, and my subs. My Chroma never could one-shot an Eidolon. I've only been playing for 50 days. So it's not like I'm a veteran player here. But, to be honest, I have killed 2 Eidolons now. I killed one 2 days before the update that came on console that actually nerfed Chroma. And you know what? That's what pissed me off. And that's the one thing I wanted to mention in this video. Chroma's actually still able to solo hunt Eidolon, guys. Like everyone. It's just, he can't, I don't know if he can one-shot it anymore. Like I said, mine was never able to. And I'll show you guys my setup in this video real quick. And then I'll do an actual video just on me solo hunting an Eidolon and show you how I do. Like that, it's still a possibility. So if you put more time into the build and make it way better than mine, right? Of course you're going to do it much better. I'm not doubting it, okay? So let's just take a quick look at my Chroma here for a second. Yeah, I bought the skin or whatever, but that's who gives a shit about that? 'Cause cosmetics aren't that big of a deal in this game to me. But this is my setup. If I formatted him 3 times, that means I got him rank 30 the very first time I got him right. And then you use a thing called a forma, which you can polarize slots, which you see some slots are just the numbers in that top right hand corner of the mod card. They're not, you know, any color. This one's, you know, it doesn't match, so it's red, but these ones are green. So some of these, you know, were here already. I forget which ones. But anyways, I formatted him 3 times for Eidolon hunting. Some people have formatted a Chroma 8 times for Eidolon hunting, which is, I can understand that. I formatted my Rhino 5 times just to make him more tankier. But yeah, this is the setup I got going, guys. I got flow for, you know, additional max energy. I got streamline for, you know, more ability efficiency. Intensify for ability strength. I'm gonna do some research on where I can farm up some more. Well, I know where to get one. I just need to get a good, like, get a squad together and just grind it out. I got vigor for extra. You know, some people might be saying, well, with all that shield, right? You know, that's not so good for Eidolon. Well, for me, it's survivability. It's a personal preference. I just like to point that out now. I like the survivability, and I still make it work. And that's why I'm gonna do a video and show you guys. You know, it's still possible, but it's not as good as it used to be. Probably a lot of people are gonna say. I got primed continuity. I only got a few prime mods. Like I said, I've only been playing 50 days, so the Void Trader, you know, I wasn't aware of him till about, you know, 4 weeks ago. So, anyways, got primed continuity for ability duration for the Elemental Ward and Vex armor ability, which I find are the most useful things here for the Eidolon hunting. The Vitality, because, you know, survivability, I like that. Sure, I could swap that out with something probably, and more health, you know, got Gladiator Resolve in there. So that's my Eidolon hunting Chroma. You know, he could be a lot better. I'm not disagreeing with anybody. You know, I could have did so many things probably to make him better. But my Opticore I actually formatted 6 times, and that's where the real punch comes in from the BFG here, the big. Yeah, I'm just gonna say the BFG. Avoid cursing here. So, yeah, I could have some better, you know, mods for, like, the elements, but I got radiation on there, which I'm happy about. And I got 2 of the ones that really count for this build. The split chamber and the heavy caliber. And I've actually did the calculations on this. I just need the endo, which is a type of currency, might as well say, for upgrading your mods. Okay? And I made sure to have enough, as you guys can see, it says 7 out of 60 up in the near the top right hand corner there for capacity. I made sure to have enough capacity from all the formas I used so that I could fully max out heavy caliber still and fully max out Dissertation to get the most out of this build, because those are the only 2 mods I need to max out on here. I made sure to give it as much critical chance as possible, so, you know, to get those big hit criticals, you know, numbers as much as possible, because that's what's really gonna help out a lot here with the Vex armor buff, I find. Okay, so yeah, that's my Opticore build, guys. It's I got Shred on here, you know, for, you know, additional fire rate and some, you know, punch through, additional punch through. Why the hell not? Might as well take it. It's the best mod I could put in there. Got hammer shot right for that additional critical damage and status chance, even though status chance isn't too big of a deal here fighting Eidolons. Like I said, got point strike for that extra critical chance. Wildfire adds 60% heat, you know, with 20% magazine. Stormbringer, a lot of people are familiar with that, even most new players. It's not too hard to get that mod. Serration, I wish I had a prime Serration, you know, that would be epically better for this. You know, the heavy caliber split chamber, which gives plus 90% multi-shot, which helps out a lot. But yeah, that's just a quick look at my Chroma. So, you know, that's something I wanted to mention. Like, some new players, they see the Eidolon and they're like, oh man, I want to kill one of those things. That's what I did. I did a mission called, a quest line called Saya's Vigil. If I'm saying that right. Saya, whatever. It's this one. This quest right here. When you do this one, you get your first encounter with an Eidolon for the most part, if you haven't been to the plains of Eidolon already. Okay, just so all you new players know. And yeah, it's like, well, you see the thing for the first time, you're like, oh my good god. It's like, that looks like a challenge and a half. Bring it. And then Lotus ends up bitching at you, saying, oh, Tenno, you're too, whatever. And so it's like, okay, fine, Lotus. I'll leave it for now, but I'm coming back for his head later. Type deal, you know? And so eventually you get that opportunity, but then you learn that, oh, you can't fight an Eidolon unless you have access to your operator. And that's if you're trying to do it solo, right? Or say even if you're with your friends but none of them have access to it. Like, at least one of you needs access to the operator, right? To bring down his shields. That's something I was not aware of when I started playing this game. And I thought I'd mention that too in this video, because I imagine some people, they have the same instinct as me. They see an Eidolon for the first time and they think, oh, that's a hell of a challenge. I want to fight that thing. And then they get told by Lotus or their buddies, like, yeah, go ahead, try, whatever, you know, you're just gonna get murked. Sure enough. You just get destroyed, basically. But yeah, you know, like, there's lots of things about this game. There's lots of good, don't get me wrong. Like, I wouldn't have put money into it. I wouldn't be playing it still if it wasn't an enjoyable game, you know. I'd just like to mention that. It's fun. It's something to do in my spare time when I need a good break from Mud Runner and stuff like that. Which I will be getting back to, guys. I will be getting back to the Mud Runner vids. Don't worry. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of update you guys, like, what I've been doing with my gaming in my spare time, like, you know, and add this to my channel, because this game is fun, you know. Don't get me wrong, it's fun. If you guys have any comments about anything, like videos you'd like me to do about Warframe, sure. Like, any builds for Warframes you'd like me to try, because, like, I got a variety now. I think it's safe to say I got a variety. Fun fact, Mirage Prime was the very first Prime frame I bought from the Prime Vault. Yep. I thought she was pretty cool. I still think she's a pretty cool frame. Still got to work on her, though. And Meg, like I said, Meg was my very first frame I ever had. She's sporting a actual weapon, custom melee weapon I didn't make. I bought this from Hawk, who's a guy in a place on Earth called Cetus, and he sells custom melee weapons that you can either build yourself, like you go to him and he puts them together after you craft the components for that weapon, or you can buy them. And this was one deal that had very nice stats that I was happy with, and I wanted something unique, so I picked this thing up. I called it the Eagle's Talon. I don't know, it's better than taking like a name from history or something and just reusing it and just come up with something off the top of my head, right? But you know, this Warframe, if it'll show here, okay, the second ability there, called Magnetize, creates a magnetic field around a target, ensnaring nearby enemies and dealing damage over time. The field reacts to bullets and shards created from Polarize to increase the damage. Now, at first when you read that, it don't make a lot of sense until you actually try it in a mission, like during combat on an enemy. Then you realize the kind of potential it offers. So it's like, okay. And that's when I realized I should try and use it, because I was having some troubles, right? I was just you know, shooting and attacking enemies with my, oh my good lord, I can't think of it. What is it? My weapons, like in general, basically what I'm trying to say, and it wasn't enough. But when I did that magnetize ability with Meg, I basically stopped it from, like, stopped the Spectre Warframe at the junction from being able to do anything. So that really made it easy to get through them all. And this is just a weapon I've been working on. It looked like a lot of fun from a bunch of YouTube videos I've seen, and I just wanted to give it a go. That's all the reason it is for there. But yeah, if you guys have any like suggestions, you know, like I said, I got a variety here. I don't got all the Warframes, okay, but you know, like I got a variety that I thought were either fun or interesting, or they had a purpose. Like Chroma, he's my solo Eidolon hunting frame. He still is capable of it, and I will prove it in my next Warframe video. Gara, I seen a bunch of videos and she just looked awesome to begin with. You know, I couldn't complain. Like I had the blueprint, so I ended up, you know, making that Warframe. I got the parts and I crafted her, because I do a lot of Cetus bounties, and I trying to get my Quills and my Ostron standing ranked up, as well as my Syndicate standings on a daily basis. So, you know, once they're maxed out, they're maxed out. I don't got to worry about them anymore, right? And that's a lot of time off my plate now. I can worry about other things in Warframe and other games and my personal life and all that stuff, you know. But yeah, if you guys got any comments, suggestions, things for me to try, I will definitely try them. Something I'd like to mention I'm doing right now, if anybody has any suggestions about this, I did my fair share of research on this about Kubro hybrid breeding. And what I'm trying to do is trying to get a Roxa breed, but like a really big beefy one. I've seen some crazy looking Roxa Kubros. I'm not even kidding, like they're bigger than Rhino almost, like when they're standing on all fours. Like that's crazy. That'd be awesome for combat. So you know, I got this oh yeah, so I can show you guys. That's cool. I would speed it up, but you know, I make my platinum last when I get it. Like I literally do my best to spread it out. I only spend it on things I think are worthwhile. So this was my very first Kubro. Bert. This was Bert. it's an imprint of Bert. He was a Chessa. And then this is Sawman. The names are just very random. That's kind of the way I roll. And my Kubros, well, Bert was named by my one of my friends actually. Ernie, he's a infested Kubro, or a Helminth Charger, as it's referred to as in Warframe. But a simpler term for a Helminth Charger, if you can't remember that, it's just the infested Kubro. It's so much easier. But yeah. Then you got this guy, right? He's a little bigger. And that's what I mean. You can breed different types of Kubros using these pet imprints, right? And you can get some pretty wild combinations out of them. So, you know, I breeded this one. My Kubro, actually named Missy, doesn't look that bad, surprisingly. I don't know why the imprint looks like shit. But I didn't get it for the imprint for her looks. I got it for her actual size and stature. That's what I wanted out of the imprint. And then I mixed it with this imprint. So I have no idea what it's going to turn out like. I really hope it's a Roxa Kubro, because I like the abilities and like their mods they come with and what they're unique for. But I want it to have like that big size, like just a big beast of a Kubro to have by your side in battle would be amazing, I think. But you know, like I said, this game has a lot of ups and downs, and I mentioned my fair share of both, but there's more to it, and you know, I could go on for days about them both. You know, what's enjoyable, what's not enjoyable. But like that's just my first impressions, guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, the next video I probably do on Warframe will probably be a solo Eidolon hunt video. And then I was thinking, because I seen the third video, I have this kind of planned a little bit. The third video, just a little tease for you guys, is my method on focus farming for all those new players who do not have an like as you guys seen, I don't have Equinox. And if you've done your research as a new player like I did, you'll see tons of people referring an Equinox sleep sleep equinox build, it's referred to as by a lot of players, and the veteran players, I guess, too. But yeah, it's a sleep equinox build. But as you guys can see, I do not have this frame. Like, I'll even show you all my frames, because that's just the loadouts, right? I do not have. I have Ash, I have Atlas, I have Chroma, I have Frost Prime, I have Ember Prime, I have Ember to max out, and then just for the mastery fodder, and then I'm gonna get rid of her. I have Gara. You know, I got a Loki Prime, Meg, got just a regular old Rhino. I got the Oberon I crafted, and then just bought this skin for him because I thought it looked wicked. And like I said, the graphics are excellent in this game, in my opinion. There's my Mirage Prime, and like I said, the rest are I still gotta eventually get and, you know, rank up, whatever, and all that good stuff. But yeah, I don't have, you know, an Equinox. So I had to come up with an alternate method of my own to farming Focus. And Focus is a pain in the ass. It's simply just the best way to put it. It's a great big pain in the ass. Because it says daily focus cap, 203,000. Well, you get a daily focus cap. For me, it's 7 o'clock in the evening when it resets. And that is, I think, 250,000 it resets to at 7 every evening. Now, I picked Zeneric because it's all about energy. And I find with the Rejuvenation Aura mod, which basically gives me and the squad I'm in, health regeneration. So that is a very useful thing to be bringing to a squad. You know, for any, you know, bunch of Warframes you're joining in battle. But yeah, I picked the Zeneric because of that reason. But also because there's lots of things in here, like... And when I do the Eidolon solo Eidolon hunt video, I'll explain in greater detail why I've picked what I picked here so far. Currently I'm working on getting more operator energy, and then I'll probably get the increased operating energy regen, which will be greatly helpful. Like if I wanted to, I got 44,000 right now. It would only take me one more 20 to 25 minute run on the mission I do, where I focus farm, and I'd have that. So like maybe an hour max, and I could have that if I didn't have that 44,000, right? And then yeah, I just commit the changes, boom. But like I said, I'm not going to go into detail about all these, right, because that would be spoiling it. And I want, you know, new players to explore the game, enjoy it for themselves. I'm just giving you like a heads up on some of the things that will, you know, would otherwise catch you off guard, and more than likely, like a 50-50 chance to almost make you rage quit right at the beginning of the game. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like I said, guys, if I wasn't determined as much as I was, I wouldn't have come this far. But you know, unlocking that operator, it makes the game more enjoyable, in my opinion, because there are more things open up to you. It's not the fact that you can actually use the operator in battle. That's just one of the bonuses to it. It's the fact that you have more access to the star chart, and you can do more things. Okay, that's the big upside to it. And the other thing I'd like to mention is, you know, this thing right down here in the corner here, people don't use these enough. They're called a Titan Extractor. I have the Prime version because, you know, like I said, I got a Prime Warframe from a vault, and sometimes they come with extra goodies. One of those times it was a Titan Prime Extractor blueprint, which is reusable. Some blueprints are, you know, a one-time use, and that's it. Once you use them, they're done. Sorry. Bye. You know what I mean? But, you know what? Thanks so much for watching, guys. It's been lots of fun giving you my first impressions of, you know, good and bad things. Like I said, I wasn't just going to stick to one end of the spectrum. I was going to try and remain neutral as possible. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll go into more detail, you know, about other things. But like I said, next two videos, be sure to look out for those. If you are a Warframe, you know, player and you enjoyed this and other Warframe videos, right, you're probably going to enjoy the next two, more than likely, just for the entertainment value on how I do things the crazy way I do them and get shit done. So thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, I greatly appreciate it. And I hope you have a swifty day out there, guys. See you in the next one.